The alarm screamed across every ship and station in the Concilium space. Red lights flashed on control panels. The automated message repeated over and over. Warning, a human warship has invaded the sector. Captain Song Ji-hai of the Defense. Vessel Guardian 7 leaned forward in her command chair. Her antennae twitched nervously. Show me, she ordered. The main screen flickered. A massive ship appeared. It was unlike anything the Concilium had ever built. Dark metal plates covered its hull. Strange symbols marked its side. HSS Relentless. What species did you say? Asked Song. Her second officer, Pak Dai-ho, swallowed hard. Human, Captain. From Earth. The room went silent. Every crew member knew the stories. Humans were dangerous, violent, unpredictable. No Concilium ship had ever met one, but the old records were clear. Avoid humans at all costs. Alert the High Council, ordered Song, and call in every ship within range. Meanwhile, aboard the human warship, Captain Kang Junho stared at unfamiliar stars. The test of their new faster-than-light drive had gone terribly wrong. Where are we, navigation? He asked. Lieutenant Bae Mi-sun checked her instruments again. Unknown, sir. The drive malfunction sent us far beyond charted space. Chief Engineer Yu Hyun-sik entered the bridge, his face grim. Captain, the FTL drive is severely damaged. We're stuck here until repairs can be made. Captain Kang nodded slowly. The HSS Relentless carried 300 crew members. They were alone in unknown space with limited supplies. Tactical. What do our sensors show? He asked. Commander Choi. Yoon-ha looked up from her station. Multiple vessels approaching, Captain. Small compared to us, but at least 30 of them. They're forming a circle around us. Any communication? Nothing we can understand, sir. They're broadcasting something, but our translators can't process it. Captain Kang straightened his uniform. Open all channels. Let's try to talk to them. In the Concilium High Council chamber, the emergency meeting had begun. 7 representatives from 7 different species argued loudly. The Volturi representative pounded his tentacle on the table. Destroy them immediately. The humans will kill us all. The Solaran counselor's light body flickered anxiously. Our weapons might not be enough. The records say human warships can withstand incredible damage. Only Counselor Kim Hee-won remained calm. A junior diplomat who had studied ancient history, she had always wondered if the stories about humans were really true. We should try to communicate first, she suggested. These records are thousands of years old. Perhaps humans have changed. Changed? Sneered the Volturi. Predators don't change their nature. Back on the Relentless, the situation was getting worse. The alien ships had powered up their weapons. Captain, said Commander Choi, I believe they're preparing to attack. Captain Kang sighed. Defensive posture only. Power up shields, but do not arm weapons. Let's not provoke them. The crew moved quickly, activating the ship's defensive systems. Power surged through the massive vessel. On Guardian 7, alarms blared. Energy spike, shouted an officer. The human ship is powering up. Captain Song didn't hesitate. Fire warning shots. Keep them away from their weapon systems. Bright energy beams struck the Relentless, hitting its already damaged engines. Automatic defense systems activated. The human ship fired back with what its crew considered minimal force. 3 Concilium ships shattered instantly. Horror spread across both fleets. The humans hadn't meant to destroy the smaller vessels. The Concilium hadn't realized how powerful human technology truly was. Cease fire, ordered Captain Kang. All stop. Shut down all systems, except life support and communications. In the council chamber, panic erupted as news of the destroyed ships arrived. See? They're monsters, screamed the Volturi representative. Counselor Kim stood firm. They stopped firing immediately. If they wanted to destroy us, they could continue. I think it was a misunderstanding. A misunderstanding that killed 27 crew members, countered the Solaran. On the Relentless, Chief Engineer Yu examined the new damage reports. Captain, the FTL drive is now completely offline. Worse, repairs will require a rare mineral called ceruleum. Our scans show it's common on the 4th, Planet in this system. Captain Kang understood the impossible situation. They needed help from the very aliens who had just attacked them. Keep trying all communication frequencies, he ordered. We need to make them understand we mean no harm. As both sides watched each other warily, neither realized they were being manipulated by forces set in motion centuries ago. Deep beneath an ancient temple on the Concilium homeworld, an artificial intelligence stirred. Its programming recognized the human brain patterns it detected. Human presence confirmed. It processed silently. Initiating final protocol. The real danger was just beginning. The silence between the human warship and the Concilium fleet stretched for hours. Captain Kang Junho paced the bridge of the HSS Relentless, the weight of responsibility heavy on his shoulders. 3 alien ships destroyed by what humans considered minimal defensive measures. How could they possibly make peace now? Any progress with communications? He asked. Lieutenant Bei Mi-sun shook her head. Their language patterns don't match anything in our database. The computer needs more samples to build a translation matrix. On the Concilium command ship, Captain Song Ji-hai watched the motionless human vessel with growing unease. The stories said humans were relentless attackers, yet this ship had gone completely dark after the brief exchange. Perhaps they're waiting for reinforcements, suggested her tactical officer. Song wasn't convinced. If they meant to invade, why bring only one ship? And why stop firing when they clearly had the advantage? In the Concilium High Council chamber, the debate raged on. Most representatives demanded immediate destruction of the human vessel. Only Councillor Kim Hee-won argued for patience. Look at this recording again, she insisted, replaying the encounter. The human ship powered up. We fired first, then they responded with precise targeted shots. If they wanted to destroy us, they could have continued firing. The Volturi representative's tentacles writhed angrily. You're risking all our lives on a feeling. I'm risking our lives on evidence, Kim replied calmly. Let me attempt communication. After hours of heated argument, the council reluctantly agreed, but with conditions. Kim would transmit from a small shuttle accompanied by armed escorts. If the humans showed any sign of aggression, the fleet would open fire with everything they had. Aboard the Relentless, sensors detected the approaching shuttle. It's much smaller than their warships, reported Commander Choi. Possibly a diplomatic vessel, Captain Kang nodded. This might be our chance. Prepare our translation systems to capture as much language data as possible. The shuttle stopped at a safe distance. A transmission arrived, visual and audio. The bridge crew stared at the alien face on screen. Counselor Kim had greenish skin, large eyes and fine scales instead of hair, but her expressions seemed remarkably similar to human ones. She spoke slowly, repeatedly pointing to herself and saying, Kim Hee-won. Then she pointed to a simple diagram showing planets. She's trying to establish basic communication, Lieutenant Bei realized, starting with names and locations. Captain Kang stepped forward. Kang Junho, he said clearly, pointing to himself. Then he pointed to a drawing of Earth that he quickly sketched. Earth, human. For 2 hours they exchanged simple words and concepts. The translation computers worked furiously, building patterns and connections. We need mineral, Kang tried to explain, showing images of the damaged drive and the ceruleum ore they required. Kim seemed to understand, but suddenly her expression changed to alarm. She pointed urgently at something behind the human captain. On the shuttle's view screen, she could see a human crew member approaching with a handheld device. From her perspective, it looked exactly like the ancient weapons depicted in Concilium historical records. It was just a diagnostic scanner, but Kim didn't know that. She shouted a warning to her escort ships and cut the transmission. What happened? Captain Kang asked, confused by the abrupt ending. Before anyone could answer, the ship rocked violently. The Concilium fleet had opened fire again. Shields holding, but they won't last long under concentrated fire, Commander Choi reported. Don't return fire, ordered Kang. Keep broadcasting on all frequencies. Send mathematical sequences, music, Anything that might show we're intelligent and peaceful. In her shuttle racing back to safety, Counselor Kim watched the human ship absorbing punishment without fighting back. This contradicted everything in the ancient warnings. Something wasn't right. Against orders, she turned her shuttle around. "What are you doing?" demanded her security officer. "Testing a theory," she replied, guiding her small vessel directly toward the Relentless. Captain Song saw the maneuver. "Stop Counselor Kim's shuttle. She's heading straight for the human ship." But it was too late. The shuttle docked with the Relentless. Inside the human vessel, emergency alarms blared as the airlock was breached. Security teams rushed to the scene, but Captain Kang ordered them to hold their fire. The inner door opened. Counselor Kim stood alone, unarmed, trembling slightly but determined. She extended her hand in what she hoped was a universal gesture of peace. After a moment's hesitation, Captain Kang stepped forward and took her hand. The first true contact between human and Concilium had begun. Neither realized that far beneath the Concilium homeworld, ancient machinery monitored this development with growing concern. The humans were not supposed to establish peaceful contact. The old programming began to initiate countermeasures. The real test of this fragile relationship was about to begin. The emergency alarms blared throughout the Concilium fleet. Captain Song Ji-hai's eyes widened as she read the incoming message. The Void Scavengers, the most feared pirate group in the sector, had launched a surprise attack on Research Station Orion. Over 2,000 civilians were trapped there, with minimal defenses. "How long until our reinforcements arrive?" she demanded. Her communications officer looked grim. 3 hours at best, Captain." "The civilians will be dead by then," Song whispered. On the bridge of the HSS Relentless, the situation was tense but improving. Counselor Kim Hee-won had brought translation devices that were finally allowing real communication. Captain Kang Jun-ho was explaining their accidental arrival when the emergency signal reached them. "What's happening?" he asked, noticing Kim's distress. "Pirates attacking our research station," she explained simply. "Many innocent people. Our ship's too far away." Captain Kang didn't hesitate. "We can help. The Relentless was built for combat." Kim stared at him, confused. "Why would you help us?" "We attacked you." "Because people are in danger," Kang replied, as if it were the most obvious thing in the world. The human crew sprang into action. Despite their damaged engines, the Relentless could still maneuver. Chief Engineer Yu powered up the weapon systems that had remained dormant since their arrival. When Captain Song received the message that the human warship was moving toward the research station, she initially feared the worst. "They're taking advantage of our distraction to escape." But the Relentless didn't flee. Instead, it positioned itself between the approaching pirate vessels and the vulnerable station. The Void Scavengers had never encountered humans before. Their leader, a ruthless criminal known only as the Claw, laughed when he saw the single ship blocking his path. "One vessel against my fleet of 20. They're either brave or stupid," he sneered. He would soon learn just how powerful human military technology could be. The pirates struck first, firing a barrage of energy weapons. The Relentless absorbed the impacts, its shields barely flickering. "Target their weapon systems only," ordered Captain Kang. "Disable, don't destroy." The human gunners followed his commands precisely. The Relentless fired a series of short, controlled bursts. One by one, the pirate ships lost weapon capabilities. From the research station, terrified scientists and families watched in amazement. The legends said humans were violent monsters, yet here they were, fighting with restraint, protecting people they had never met. The Claw wasn't so easily defeated. His flagship carried a devastating weapon stolen from a military facility years ago. He aimed it directly at the research station. "Stop me if you can," he transmitted to all channels. Or, "Watch these civilians die." Inside the Relentless, Tactical Officer Commander Choi spotted the threat. "Captain, they're charging some kind of particle cannon. Our shields won't stop it." Captain Kang made a split-second decision. "Position us directly in the line of fire." "Sir, that will cause severe damage to our hull," protested Commander Choi. Better our ship than those civilians, Kang replied firmly. Counselor Kim watched in shock. These humans were willing to sacrifice themselves for Concilium lives. Everything she'd been taught about them was wrong. The pirate weapon fired. The AI, relentless, took the full impact. Alarm screamed across the human ship as the hull breached in multiple sections. Lieutenant Nam Wan-shik was thrown across the bridge by the impact. Blood trickled from a cut on his forehead, but he staggered back to his station. "Return fire, Captain." "Precise strike their main weapon only," ordered Kang. The Relentless fired once. The pirate flagship's weapon exploded, crippling the vessel. The remaining pirates fled. The battle was over in less than 15 minutes. On the bridge of the Guardian 7, Captain Song watched the sensor readings in silence. The human ship had suffered significant damage, yet had fought with remarkable restraint and skill. "Send medical teams to assist the humans," she ordered. Finally, as Concilium doctors boarded the Relentless, they found humans already treating their own wounded with impressive efficiency. More shocking still was how the human captain had prioritized treatment for the most severely injured crew members, regardless of their rank. That evening, the Concilium High Council met again. The mood was very different now. "The humans saved over 2,000 of our people," Counselor Kim stated. "They were injured protecting us. How can we still call them enemies?" Even the Volturi representative remained silent. Captain Kang was invited to address the council. He explained their situation simply: their damaged FTL drive, their need for ceruleum ore, their desire for peaceful relations. The council voted unanimously to provide the needed mineral and assistance with repairs. As human and Concilium engineers began working together, none of them noticed the subtle malfunctions occurring in the ancient temple's security systems. The AI buried deep beneath had just identified its greatest threat: human-Concilium cooperation. The mining operation was going smoothly. For 5 days, humans and Concilium workers had been extracting ceruleum ore from the rocky hills near the ancient temple. The relationship between the two species improved with each passing hour. Human engineers taught Concilium workers about their advanced drilling techniques, while Concilium experts shared their knowledge of the local geology. Ensign Yoon Ji was mapping mineral deposits when her scanner picked up something strange. The young science officer recalibrated her device, thinking it must be an error. The readings remained. "Captain, I'm detecting unusual energy patterns coming from inside the temple," she reported through her communicator. Captain Kang Jun-ho and Counselor Kim Hee-won arrived quickly. The temple was one of the oldest structures on the planet, built thousands of years before the Concilium civilization began. "No one has ever detected energy from the temple before," Kim said, her scales shifting color slightly in confusion. Kang studied the readings. "These patterns don't match any known technology, Concilium or human." Kim looked troubled. "The temple is sacred. We aren't allowed to enter the lower chambers." "Something down there is active," Kang replied gently, "and it only activated after we arrived." After much discussion with Concilium religious leaders, a small team was granted permission to investigate. Captain Kang, Counselor Kim, Engineer Yu Hyun-sik, and 2 Concilium guards descended the ancient stone staircase into the heart of the temple. The air grew colder as they went deeper. The walls were covered with strange symbols that neither human nor Concilium could read. "Look at this," Engineer Yu said, pointing to a section of wall that seemed newer than the rest. "This material isn't stone. It's some kind of metal alloy." He pressed his hand against it. Suddenly, the wall slid open, revealing a hidden chamber bathed in soft blue light. Inside was something impossible. A vast room filled with technology far more advanced than anything the humans or Concilium had ever seen. In the center sat a pulsing crystalline structure connected to thousands of thin wires that spread out like a web. "What is this place?" whispered Kim. Before anyone could answer, the crystal pulsed brightly. A holographic figure appeared, tall, thin, with 4 arms and a triangular head. "Harbinger Defense System online," it said in perfect Concilium language. "Human presence confirmed. Initiating final protocol." The temple began to shake. The team, ran back up the stairs as pieces of the ceiling crashed down around them. Outside, they found chaos. The Concilium workers were attacking the humans, their eyes glazed over, moving like puppets. "What's happening to them?" shouted Captain Kang as he pulled an injured human to safety. Counselor Kim looked horrified. "They're acting without control, like something is manipulating them." The Concilium guards who had been with them in the temple remained normal. One of them, Officer No Sang-min, grabbed Kim's arm. "The sacred writings," he said urgently. "They speak of the Harbingers, an ancient race that feared humans above all else. They vanished thousands of years ago, but the texts say they left guardians behind." Over the next few hours, the situation grew worse. Reports came in from across Concilium space. Strange energy pulses were activating in ancient structures on multiple planets. More and more Concilium citizens were falling under mysterious control. The Concilium High Council gathered an emergency session with the human officers. Chief Medical Officer Lee Soo-jin had examined the affected Concilium. "Their brains show unusual activity patterns," she explained. "Something is blocking their free will and implanting false memories and emotions, specifically fear and hatred of humans." "The Harbinger AI," said Engineer Yu. "It's been dormant all this time, waiting for humans to arrive." Captain Song Ji-hai had joined them from her ship. But why? Why would this ancient race fear humans so much? The answer came from an unexpected source. A very old Concilium archivist arrived, carrying dusty records that had been forgotten for generations. "The Harbingers enslaved hundreds of species," the archivist explained, "until they encountered early humans on their home planet. Something about human brain patterns made them resistant to Harbinger control. Humans led the rebellion that nearly destroyed them. Before they vanished, the Harbingers created this system to ensure humans would never spread beyond their world. That's why all our legends describe humans as monsters," realized Kim. "The AI has been subtly influencing our civilization for thousands of years, programming us to attack humans on sight." The crystal structure beneath the temple pulsed again. Across the planet, massive energy beams began to form, pointing toward space. "The final protocol," whispered the archivist in horror. "The Harbingers left weapons behind. If their guardians failed to keep humans isolated, the weapons would activate." Captain Kang stood up. "How do we stop it?" "We need human brain patterns," said the archivist. "The very thing the Harbingers feared might be our only hope." The massive energy beams all across the Concilium homeworld pointed toward space, ready to fire. Scientists calculated they had less than 6 hours before the Harbinger weapon system would activate fully. Once it did, not only would it destroy any human ships in the sector, but it would also transform several Concilium planets into weapons platforms that could eventually reach Earth itself. In the main science facility, human and Concilium experts worked frantically side by side. Engineer Yu Hyun-sik studied the ancient technology they had removed from the temple. "The system is designed to be resistant to tampering," he explained. "But it has one weakness. It can't directly control human minds." Captain Kang Jun-ho nodded. "So we need to use that advantage somehow." The archivist pointed to diagrams of the crystal structure. "The main control node requires direct neural connection. A Concilium would be instantly controlled by it, but a human might be able to access it without being taken over." Finished. Medical Officer Lee Soo-jin. The plan was dangerous but simple. A small team would return to the temple. A human would connect to the main crystal and try to shut down the system from within. Meanwhile, Concilium and human ships would attempt to disable the energy beams from space. Lieutenant Bae Mi-sun volunteered for the neural connection. "My specialty is computer systems," she said quietly. "I have the best chance." As they prepared, Counselor Kim approached Captain Kang. "Why are your people risking their lives for us? After everything our history said about humans, after we attacked you, why help us?" Kang smiled slightly. "Because that's what humans do. We protect those who need protection." The mission began at dawn. The team fought their way through possessed Concilium guards to reach the temple's heart. Lieutenant Bae connected herself to the crystal as Engineer Yu monitored her vital signs. In orbit, Captain Song Ji-hai commanded a mixed fleet of concilium and human vessels, targeting the energy projectors on the planet's surface. When Lieutenant Bei joined with the crystal, she found herself in a virtual landscape facing the Harbinger AI. It appeared as a towering figure of light, confused by her presence. Human neural pattern detected, it stated. Impossible. Humans must be destroyed. Why? Bei asked. What did we do to you? Humans cannot be controlled, the AI replied. All species must be controlled. Order must be maintained. As they spoke, Bei located the system's core programming. The AI noticed her efforts. You will fail, it said. This system has safeguards. Maybe, Bei replied, but humans are good at breaking rules. She launched her attack on the AI's code while her physical body convulsed in the temple chamber. Engineer Yu watched in horror as blood began to trickle from her nose and ears. Her brain can't handle the connection much longer, he told Captain. Kang in space, the battle wasn't going well. The weapons were heavily shielded. 3 concilium ships had already been destroyed. Captain Song made a bold decision. Concentrate all fire on Sector 4. We'll punch through at a single point. The combined firepower of human and concilium vessels finally broke through, destroying 1 energy projector. But there were dozens more. In the virtual realm, Lieutenant Bei was losing ground. The AI was too powerful. You need help, said a voice behind her. Bei turned to see Counselor Kim, who had secretly connected to a secondary terminal. But you'll be controlled, Bei protested. Kim smiled. Maybe not. See, I have something the AI didn't expect. She opened her mind fully. The AI tried to take control but hesitated, confused. Kim's neural patterns had been altered by her time with the humans. She wasn't fully resistant like Bei, but she wasn't an easy target either. Together, human and concilium joined forces against the ancient system. As the AI fought to maintain control, it diverted power from the planetary weapons. In orbit, Captain Song noticed the energy readings dropping. Now's our chance. All ships, fire everything you have. The combined fleet unleashed its full arsenal. One by one, the energy projectors exploded. In the virtual world, Lieutenant Bei found the self-destruct sequence. With Kim's help, she activated it just as her physical body reached its limit. The temple collapsed. Engineer Yu carried Bei's unconscious form out while Captain Kang helped the weakened Counselor Kim. 3 days later, Lieutenant Bei woke up in the Concilium medical facility. The crisis was over. The Harbinger system had been destroyed across all Concilium worlds. In the High Council chamber, humans and Concilium leaders gathered to discuss the future. The Harbinger influence was gone. For the first time in their history, the Concilium could see humans as they truly were. We owe you our existence, said the council leader. We offer formal alliance with Earth and all human worlds. Captain Kang accepted on behalf of humanity. As the HSS Relentless prepared to return home with its repaired engines, half the crew remained behind to establish the first human embassy in Concilium space. All across Concilium territory, the emergency warning systems were reprogrammed. The old message, warning, a human warship has invaded the sector, was replaced. Now, when human ships arrived, the announcement simply stated, welcome, friends from Earth. In deep space, intelligence vessels from other galactic powers observed these events with concern. The unexpected alliance between humans and the Concilium had changed the balance of power forever. New challenges awaited, but for now, ancient enemies had become the strongest of allies.